That's a wonderful song right there for all of our warriors, for all of our first responders, everyone out there that's protecting us, either country or our states or our city or our county. That song is for you. So if you're just now tuning in, this is WRGG Warrior Empowerment Hour here on 93.7. This is Mr. Too Easy, Don Brown here, and I'm just giving my experience, my 16 years in the Army, before the Army and right now after the Army, and giving my point of view. I don't speak for all veterans, but maybe something I say or can talk about that maybe shed some light on how your warrior veteran is acting, and you can recognize it and say, hey, let me try these things, let me seek some help, let me call this hotline, or go take him to the VA, he or she to the VA, and things like that. So definitely, if you have a warrior in your life, do the research and just be understanding. At the end of the day, if you do the research to get your understanding, and that'll give you a better way to understand your warrior, on why he or she may do some of the things that they do, and it gives you a little bit more, share some light on whatever subject that you may be having issues with. So like, combat PTSD is the invisible wounds. It says our wounds are invisible. It's being hypersensitive. It's being extra hard on myself. Anger, fear, guilt, grief, insomnia, apathy, nightmares, helplessness, numb. It's being misunderstood. The pain is real, and that is so very true, so very true. And I try to, I have a treatment team out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, VA, and my family is really into my recovery, and just me being a new me, and the old me will never come back. But when you work and you figure out how can you make yourself the new you, it's wonderful. It really is. It's hard. Yes, it is difficult. But you guess what? All if you don't struggle, there is no progress. So you have to go through something, and that's through everyday life. Whether I'm a '70s baby, so we as me and my buddies always say, we were the era that was what we call Generation X. So we did a lot of manual stuff, and then soon computers come on board. We had manual and then computer, so we have the best of both worlds. And I always make a joke that if me and my buddies are together, we made a joke, if you drunk out of a water faucet as a child, and you ate mud pies, and you played in the creek, and you was always in the woods hunting, you're not gonna be affected by the coronavirus. That's just a little joke, but it's just funny because we were brought up a different way. Nothing against the millennials and the children after millennials. It's just when you go through some struggles, coming through life, and it's the everyday thing. It's not like negative struggles. It's just positive struggles. Drinking out of a water hose. We didn't think about no bottled water. We didn't have no big Deer Park cooler in the house. It was, hey, you don't keep coming in out that door. I'm not trying to heat up the outside. I'm not trying to cool off the outside. Hey, you better go to that faucet, go to that water hose, and drink from there. That it's still the same water, and it's just awesome. When you think back and you're like, man, yeah, that is pretty awesome. Or you got the well and you got to crank that bad boy, pump that bad boy up to get that water the water to come out. But it's funny that we talk about that now, because when I tell my children, they're like, what? Y'all drink out of a water hose? Isn't that dirty? Like, no, actually it isn't. But it's just hilarious on how the perspectives, and of course each generation, want better for their children than how we grew up. And that's no fault against any generation. It's just you want to evolve. You really do. I tell my children, I say, I joined the Army so you wouldn't have to. That's just a phrase that I use. But if they want to join, that's fine. It's teach his own. They're individuals. So I encourage anyone, definitely, if you think about the military, research all branches. Find out what your aspects are, what your inspirations are, and then find a branch that suits you. Just don't go in it blindly. Ask questions. Trust me, there's a plethora of warriors and veterans out here, and I would say most of your first responders, your police officers, fire department, they know someone that was a veteran if they're not a veteran. So definitely ask questions, and you got to take the bitter with the sweet. you know. And I tell my civilian friends that, you know, being in the Army was just like an everyday job. You know, of course, we get up early in the morning, do PT in the evening. But when I say every day, it's just like if you say you worked at, and I always use the phrase Walmart because I love Walmart. Sorry, it's Wally World. You know, I just really love it. But imagine going to work at Walmart, hey, regular 9 to 5. You either got to stock stuff, you either a cashier, you either a housekeeper, something. You're gonna have a supervisor or manager you may not get along with, you may not like, but guess what? You go there every day, you get that paycheck, you come home, pay them bills, take care of your children, take care of your life needs. Boom. It's just like being in the Army. I'm gonna have a sergeant or a first sergeant or somebody I'm not gonna get along with, but guess what? I suck it up. I know I got bills to pay. I do what I have to do, and I move out and I draw fire. It is just that simple. Um, you know, if you're a police officer, if you a dog walker, I don't know, but everyone has someone to answer to, and even if you own your own business, guess what? You're going to be harder on yourself because you want to succeed. So even if you own your own business, you got to struggle too, because you got to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard. So you know, that's why I say it's like everyday living. It's a little bit easier on certain things, at least for me, it was. But to each his own, you know. And you know, as we always say, the military isn't for everybody, but you know, there's always a plan for everyone in their life. And if you don't join the military, you may change someone else's life by being a Walmart greeter, by being a Walmart stalker, by being a first responder, by being a dog walker. You know, all that stuff. All that stuff plays a part in everyday living in everyone's life. So even being a radio host, you know, you affect a lot of people out there, a lot of listeners, a lot of people that blog, a lot of people that views, a lot of things. You know, it's not just one side. There's always 2 sides to a coin, and everything. So, you know, I love my life. I love what I've done, and it's just great. And every day I'm always learning. I'm always learning. So let me play. Let's see. You know what? Let me switch it up and play some. Let's see.